What if every twist in our world is part of the universe's ultimate punchline? In the Twilight Zone episode, Time Enough at Last, Henry Bemis survives the end of the world, only to finally get what he's always wanted, time alone with his beloved books. But just as hope dawns, fate slips on a banana peel and the cruelest joke of all shatters his dream, literally. Today's tarot questions ask, are we the victims of cosmic comedy? When the dust settles, does the universe hand us a gift or a gag? Let's pull back the curtain and see if the universe is laughing with us or at us. Hello everybody, welcome back, and welcome if you are new to my channel. As always, we are going to hop right into this episode with question 1. When does the universe begin setting up its joke? So in other words, what is playing out in the current situation? And is it kind of a setup for something bigger and unexpected? So let us see. We are starting with Oracle, and then we will move into Tarot for more information. Volcano. Hotter than hell. Okay. Signs. Red Dawn. Age of Aquarius. Let the sun shine in. All right, so the question again was, when does the universe begin setting up its joke? What came to mind right away with Volcano is, if you've ever played the game Hot Potato, Cold Potato, or Hot and Cold, it's where you hide something from someone and you have them go looking for it, and as they get closer to it, or as they are looking, you tell them, oh, you're cold, which lets them know they have to go to another place, another direction, and waiting for you to say, oh, you're warmer. Oh, you're getting really hot. Okay, so that's what that reminded me of, hotter than hell. So when it says, when does the universe begin setting up its joke? I'm taking this to mean we're on the right track. We're like right on top of, this is a fact. The universe sets it up. The universe also gives us signs to let us know what it's setting up. And those signs sometimes aren't very subtle. They might start out subtle, and then they're going to get stronger and stronger. Some of those signs can be very scary. And if you've seen Red Dawn, the original or the remake, you know that what happens to these teenage kids, what happens in general, is very scary. So to get our attention and to set up the whole scenario, the whole situation, they're gaining our attention by being very scary, having the signs get scarier and scarier. With Age of Aquarius, let the sun shine in. This is a cosmic situation. This is how the universe plays. So let's see what more we have here. Pushover. Ghostbusters. And Jurassic Park. Part of the reason that the universe seems to have a good time doing this right now anyway is because we kind of fall for things hook, line, and sinker. It just seems to be who we are. if we're tempted by the story, we pay attention to the story. And that is exactly what the universe is looking for. What catches our eye as humans are stories of destruction. We seem to respond to stories of destruction much quicker than we do good news stories. We seem to be drawn to the fear, drawn to the negative. And that's also part of what gets us every time, so that the universe can set up whatever it is they're setting up. They know that we're going to fall for it. They do. Do we believe also that there's a savior out there for any of this situation? Is there a savior out there? Or is what is going to happen, is what the universe setting up, going to be an extinction event? Who's going to save the world? Or is it going to be an extinction event? So let us see what tarot has to share. This isn't exactly a when does the universe begin setting up its joke, but yet it is. By catching our attention, using the scary things to catch our attention. That's the start of the setting up the joke. And we have the Ten of Pentacles. End of life as we know it. Temperance. Yep, knowing just exactly what kind of signs to use. Balancing them out in just the perfect way. Nine of Pentacles. Threatening our wonderful lives, our way of life. It works. Ten of Cups. I think it kind of moves us closer to one another also. But the universe has specific timing on whether, is that the purpose? Bring us closer to one another? Don't know. Moon. Yeah, the universe only has to show us half of something or the shadow of something to have us quivering, shaken in our boots, worried about, well, the end of days, the end of our lives. Five of Wands. It can have us believing that there are a number of people out there that are going to save us, and they're competing for the job. Ace of Pentacles. This is where life begins again in another way. So life ends, life begins again. Is that the setup? Is it a joke? All right, so that is question 1. And just in fair warning here, something that I share in every video that I do, I have a Chihuahua. He enjoys spending time in my room with me, but he loves to snore through my videos. So if you hear the snoring, that is what you're hearing. I cannot cut out all the snores or there wouldn't be any reading at all. He's quiet right now, surprisingly. So let us put the cards back in and move on to question 2. All right, question 2. What illusion makes the punchline hit harder? So what unexpected change or turn of events unfolds that we all see? And will we stay the course if we see this change or experience the change. Radio. Midnight train to Georgia. Signs again. What dreams may come. Okay, so the question again was, what illusion makes the punchline hit harder? Keeping in mind that this is talking about the universe setting up a joke. So what illusion makes the punchline hit harder? What changes? Frequency. When I see the radio card, all I can think of is frequency. We all have a frequency. We're born with a frequency. All frequencies are different from one another. It's like a fingerprint. Nobody has the same fingerprints. Frequency is the same way. It's that unique. Frequency goes up, frequency goes down. It just depends on what's happening in the world, what's happening around us, what our life is experiencing. And when our frequency is low, it's easier to pull one over on us. It's when we're down. And I know the saying is don't kick a person when they're down, but that's when we're down. When our frequency is high, we're pretty well untouchable. So frequency is something that is being used by the universe to change things up on us. Bring down our frequency, we're vulnerable. Midnight train to Georgia, taking away from us what is familiar, as though we are getting on a train and going cross country. We leave from the station that is familiar and go forward into the future, into something that isn't familiar at all. Scary stuff. So that can bring our frequency down. Certain signs. Think about the song, this is by 5-Man Electrical Band, and I think this is the song that I'm thinking of, but one of the lines in the song is sign, sign, everywhere a sign, blocking out the scenery, breaking my mind, do this, don't do that, can you read the signs? And so again, that's something that you can't, do this, do that, confusion in the mind. Keeping that frequency low. And what dreams may come can even offer nightmares. Bring nightmares into the picture. Lower the frequency even more. Show the what-if possibilities in the dream. The things that you're being exposed to, the things that you're thinking about, having that erupt in the dream. Suspect. The Blob. And Backdraft. So in Suspect, I mean, all of this is suspect, obviously. It is an illusion that is being created and we should be suspect of it because we don't know what it is. We don't know what the universe is doing. We know something's changing. Obviously, something's changing, but what is it? It is the frequency. That is how we can be manipulated by humans, by the universe, by whoever. And with backdraft, the universe is just waiting really silently behind the door, waiting almost like somebody waits behind the door and jumps out and goes, "Wah!" at you, okay? That's pretty much what the universe is doing with this. That is the illusion that makes the punchline hit harder. It is changing up the frequency, making us lower our frequencies over what is being seen, not understanding it. It's priming us for still part of the setup, and it's still going to make things very difficult. So let us see what else Tarot has to share. We have the Devil, taking away our power. When it lowers the frequency, takes away our power. Higher the frequency, more power we have. Ace of Cups. The possibilities of where the universe can take us with this to hit our emotions is endless, limitless. It knows how to play. Ace of Pentacles. It can put more signs, the number of ways for the universe to show us things, signs, that can lower our frequency for the whatever purpose it's doing it, it's limitless too. Five of Wands. It can create chaotic energy in our dreams. The World. Yeah, this is suspect. Does it mean that it's going to be the end of the world? Is that the setup? Is that the illusion that it's trying to create to lower the frequency even more? Queen of Cups. Is it unexplainable, or is it something trying to push us to use our intuition, to trust our own gut? Because the Blob, it's unexplainable. It's the lowering of the frequency. So is it trying to push us to use our intuition to discover what is going on, or is it a way just to really pound our emotions? And then we have the Star. Is it destiny? Is it destined to happen? In our minds, we're saying, end of the world? Is it something that's supposed to happen? Is it lowering our frequency? So it is the picture that is being created by the universe. And this is just one scenario. So let us get this cleaned up and move forward with question 3. So if you're enjoying this content, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe, and also to share with others if you know somebody who might enjoy the content as well. And most importantly, comment. I'd love to hear your take on what the cards are sharing here. This is just my reading, my interpretation. You may be seeing something completely different, and I'd love to see that. All right, so moving on to question 3. What does the universe withhold until we're not vulnerable? So we're looking for some small overlooked detail that is in plain sight, it's been hiding in plain sight, and it'll change the way that we see the situation once it's revealed. So again, if we're being shown, if the universe is showing us that the world is ending, world is going to end, and our frequency is going down. What is the universe giving us as a clue? It's in plain sight. Allows us to see things differently if we find that clue. Maybe raise our frequency up a little higher. Dragonfly. And it makes sense that when we're not vulnerable, what does the universe withhold until we're not vulnerable? Because when we are freaking out over something, we're not thinking clearly. When we're calm, any clue that might be hidden, we might actually find. The tunnel of love. Union. One. Okay, so what does the universe withhold until we're not vulnerable? Okay, so in this case with Dragonfly, I feel as though this is saying that there's an afterlife. So even if the world did end, we're not ending. Our energy isn't ending. We might be ending in our physical body, what we look like right now, but we will go to spirit. The world, we do not end. We go through the tunnel of love, go towards the light, where we are reunited with those people, this is union, reunited with those people that we loved who have passed on before us. Life is no longer empty. Ascending. Mothman prophecies. Hand-me-down world. So basically, we ascend. If we find our frequency ascends, it goes back up again with this clue. If we know that the world is coming to an end, but we won't, our soul won't, our frequency rises. And whatever comes our way, whatever warnings that we get after that, it really doesn't matter. Whatever happens to the planet after that really doesn't matter, because we've gone to the light and we've met up with past loved ones. We do not exist on this earth anymore. So let's see what Tarot has to share. I know it's a small detail, but that's a pretty big detail. All right, so we have Magician. So yeah, as above, so below. What we think happens, is created. So if we believe that we live on, that's what we create. 10 of Pentacles. Completion of life, but we're going through the tunnel of love. Page of Swords. Understanding the message in our mind. We will meet up with those who have passed before us. Loved ones, pets, etc. Ace of Swords. Beginning of a new way of thinking for some. That all this happens once we leave the earth. Sun. Frequency. Higher. We're going higher. We can see clearly now with this clue that the universe has offered us. Three of Cups. Yeah, when other things come out, things that make the end of the world seem a possibility. With the Three of Cups, we can celebrate now. Our emotions aren't, our frequency is high again, and our emotions are flying free because we're not done. Our energy doesn't die. And the world can fall to pieces, and it doesn't matter with the Tower card. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so let us pick up and move on to question 4. So if you're new to my channel and you wonder why I clean up this way, individual cards in individual places, because it takes a little longer, I just feel like if I do it like this and then I shuffle, if I get repeat cards of any kind, I know that they're meant to come out. It's not because I did a poor shuffle. I do the same thing with the Oracle decks. I grab them at random and stuff them somewhere in each pile to allow them to be mixed, always mixed. So again, when we get duplicates, those duplicates, or not duplicates, but repeat cards, they mean something. It's worked for me anyway. Okay, so question 4. Who or what plays the role of the trickster in our story? How is the universe laughing at our expectations? In other words, laughing at the outcome we expect versus the outcome we actually get. So who or what plays the role of the trickster in our story? (2012). Whoop, get back there. Fried green tomatoes. Gotta say, I love the movie Fried Green Tomatoes, but I do not like fried green tomatoes. Shadow of a Doubt. And Wildwood Weed. Okay, so again, question is, who or what plays the role of the trickster in our story? How is the universe laughing at our expectations? In other words, we believe there's a specific outcome and the outcome ends up totally different. So with 2012 here, first thing that comes to mind is in 2012, it was the Mayan calendar that ended. So everybody felt like that was the end of the world. If the Mayan calendar ended, there must not be any years after that. And there was a lot more to it than that, but that's one of those things where what it's talking about, we expected and people were preparing for the end of the world and it didn't come. So we got a totally different outcome. Certainly the universe had a reason for what they did or what it did, but we may not know that for a long, long time. We may not know that until we pass on into spirit. And 2012, nobody expected what happened. And all of a sudden in the movie, everything was destroyed and They ended up living on ships. Some people ended up living on ships. They survived. It didn't look like anyone was going to. With fried green tomatoes, I almost feel like this is saying, whatever you're hearing, whatever the outcome that you expect, it isn't going to be what you expect. Just to have the sense of humor that may go with hearing something like this. If you have a sense of humor about it, you're not as serious about the outcome. So it maybe doesn't hit as hard. They're saying have some doubt about what you're hearing, what you expect. Let your mind kind of go a different direction. Let your mind think out of the box. Let your mind go mystical. So in 2012, when everybody was preparing for the end of the world because the Mayan calendar ended, you could maybe, your mind maybe would go a totally different way to show that something completely different happened to the world and it didn't end. You would have been right. Or you laughed it off to some degree. Got closer to your friends and family, but didn't quite believe because you let your mind not stick here. Teach your children magic and reinvention. The cards are saying it's probably a good idea to teach our children not to have specific expectations either. Not to let the universe trick us into having specific expectations. And, is it the universe or is it humans? Well, as humans, we do spread the message, so to speak, but it is the magic of the universe. But if we don't have a specific outcome in mind, that's kind of like a reinvention of humanity, or at least individuals in humanity. And maybe it changes the outcome. Maybe it reinvents the outcome. Maybe it reinvents what the universe had planned to start with, if we don't fall for things hook, line, and sinker. So let's see what the tarot has to share. And also, with this magic card, it says gratefulness. Be grateful to be alive. Look at life in a wonderful way. This is all raising our vibration again. Raising our frequency. Keeping our frequency high can change things. All right, so Four of Swords. Yep, that's a death card. Can be a death card. So we'll just take that with 2012. King of Pentacles. Yeah, live life the way you want to live it. Be happy regardless of what you're hearing. Pretend like it's not happening, perhaps. Get together with family and friends a little bit more. Spend time together. Do things that you've never done before. Whatever it is that helps you to not wallow in low frequency in whatever the universe has put out there for us to believe. The Devil. Yeah, don't let it take over. Have a shadow of a doubt. Don't give up all your power. Three of Swords. Yeah, allow your mind to have some growth. It said with Wildwood Weed that, the imagination can really go flowing. Do that. Let your mind grow instead of staying stagnant right here. Seven of Wands, teach your children what to do because they can defend themselves by keeping that frequency high. They can defend themselves against whatever the universe throws at them. Strength, yes. Magic, keeping the high frequency gives strength. Queen of Swords, communicating how to stay alive, reinventing through keeping that frequency high and changing what the universe maybe had planned. So the trickster is definitely the universe, but in a way, the trickster is our own mind. Because we are the ones who decide what we believe. We are the ones who allow things to hit us emotionally in very strong ways. We are the ones who decide that there's no hope. But what if we don't do that? So our own minds can be the trickster. The universe might present it to us, but we trick ourselves. All right, so moving on here. We have two more questions. Cards keep moving further and further away. Always happens on this side for some reason. Okay, so question 5. When everything finally aligns, what ruins it? So in other words, when everything looks like it's going to work out just fine, like what we've been talking about. World's not going to end because we're keeping our frequency high and we're not allowing our minds to stay stuck on the world's going to end. And this was just one scenario, okay? So when everything aligns that way, what ruins it? What lesson will this teach the collective? And is it the universe's cosmic humor? Does the universe think it's funny? Murder on the Orient Express. And before I forget, this kind of reminds me of the movie Jaws. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water. So when everything finally aligns, like they think the shark is gone, in this case they think riding the train is safe. Not so much. Radio again. Transformation. Fried green tomatoes again. Okay, so I've already kind of covered the Murder on the Orient Express. Question again was, when everything finally aligns, what ruins it? In this case, you get on the train, you're going to have a fabulous trip, and suddenly there's a murder on the train. That kind of ruins the whole trip, right? If you are thinking of Jaws, just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, okay, same scenario. And that's what ruins it. Some unexpected opposite scenario or something bad happens. And What's that do to our frequency? You right? Straight downhill, just boof. And I don't know if you can see my thumbs down here because I'm trying. Anyway, it drops our frequency. But part of the question here is, what lesson will it teach the collective? If we don't allow that to drop our frequency completely, then we transform into someone who keeps that high frequency no matter what, or at least as close as we possibly can. We keep the sense of humor, we keep the love, we continue being with our family and friends in a good way, no matter what. Witchy woman, age of Aquarius, let the sunshine in, and demolition man. We keep the magic, the free spirit. That's part of this frequency. We have a free spirit. We have free will. So we can fall to pieces when that specific thing happened. And let's go with, let's say you're in a relationship or you're a married couple and you're planning to get divorced. It's just a mutual thing. You know that you're not growing together anymore. And the judge says, and you're, planning your life forward because you're both okay with this divorce. And the judge says, I'm sorry, I won't grant this to you. You need a year to see if you can work this out. Wham. Okay. You've already started making plans for a new life without this other person. Maybe with somebody new, and all of a sudden, judge says, you're not going to do this. Boom, goes the frequency. But if you look at it from the standpoint of it is a lesson that the universe is attempting to teach you, then you can keep that frequency up and you can transform with it, still hold that wonderful sense of humor, stay close with the people that you want to stay close with, just live happy, live free. Then the sun will shine again, certainly. It's not going to stay dark and ugly forever for you if you don't let that happen. You don't even have to go to the demolition man darkness. You can stay here in the age of Aquarius, let the sunshine in. Look at it as a cosmic awakening. And that's the whole point of what the universe is trying to do, is awaken us. Okay, so let's see what tarot has to share. We have 10 of Pentacles. End of life. End of the plan. End of what we had planned. Damn, right? 4 of Wands. Hold that frequency. Keep it stable. Keep it structured. Keep the passion alive. Keep that frequency up. The Sun. That's what helps the chrysalis open up and change. The sun is life, transformation. 4 of Swords. Don't let this die. Don't let it die. Don't let your mind take away that structure. Instead, take a moment. Take a moment to realize what is actually happening, and take a moment to think and realize that the universe is attempting to teach you something. 9 of Cups. The universe is wishing, this is the wish card, wishing that you get it. That you're strong enough in your intuition to understand what's going on, what's happening. 2 of Swords. So you have the opportunity to decide what to think, how to think. Are you going to let the sunshine in? Or are you going to let it bring you down? 9 of Pentacles. And take away what life could actually be. The lessons that you can learn from this scenario, whatever it is. All right, so let us pick up here and move on to the last question. I love these readings. I really do. I have never any idea how it's going to go, where it's going to go. It's just, they're so fun. Okay. Whoops. Try to hurry a little bit because I know this is kind of a slow process, and then I end up throwing cards all over the place. All right. So, question 6. Is the joke cruel, or are we simply not in on it? So the final punchline, the twist that shifts everything, like what we were talking about, that changes the narrative and forces us to laugh eventually at how absurd it actually is or was, or you can laugh right then and there. The divorce situation that I mentioned, you know, I mean, you could look at it as, wow, that is so cruel, or you could just laugh at how absurd it seems that the judge said, no, you have to stay together for a year. Okay, the prize. Suspect. Lucky. And fried green tomatoes. Okay. If you haven't seen that movie, it's probably a good idea to watch it. There must be something in here that anybody who's watching this video should maybe pay attention to that card. Okay, so is the joke cruel, or are we simply not in on it? So what it looks like is we're going to win something wonderful. And then all of a sudden something changes and throws everything completely away from the expectation that we have. Be suspect of that, and for good reason. It isn't just luck, okay? Or bad luck. This is a 4-leaf clover. This is good luck. This is something good for you, okay? Suspect that it's something good for you. And it is going to teach you something so valuable. This is important. So the joke is not cruel. What happens may seem cruel, but sometimes we are so hard-headed as humans that sometimes it is necessary to really have that gut punch for us to pay attention. The devil went down to Georgia. Ghostbusters. And Patch Adams. Okay, so you let the devil go down to Georgia. Don't let it take over your thought process. Don't think that, oh, geez, I'm so unlucky. Don't think that the joke is cruel, that the devil is after you. This is the universe. The universe is coming to save the day. But it's how you take it, how you allow your frequency. This green color here, this is the heart chakra, okay? This is the beautiful green of health and healing of the heart chakra. That means something to some people right off the bat, but look at how it shines in this. It's the green of life. Our heart is what keeps us living, right? This green just shines in the whole, and I'll pull it down a little bit here because, and that's not even the vibrant green I can see. You see when I put it up there, how beautifully vibrant green that is? Okay, so that's life. The universe is trying to teach you something about life with what seems like a very cruel joke. Laughter. Laughter is contagious. It says really tiny on this card. I don't know if I can get it. There it is. Laughter is contagious. Right there. So again, laughter. And as we saw in the question, is the joke cruel or are we simply not in on it? The final punchline, the twist that shifts everything for the collective, changing the narrative and forcing us to laugh at the absurdity. And again, that laughter is what keeps our frequency high. It's what keeps us from going down the tubes and making that life change or whatever has happened, what the thing that ruined the thing we expected, from being so life-altering that we can't rise above it. So let's see what Tarot has to share. And I have my Chihuahua sitting right here to my left now, so he's trying to tell me, I need you to wrap this up, Mom. All right. Hold on, Sammy. We're getting there. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so we have Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, this is my life quest card. It's my life expectation card. So this is what is expected, that we've got something great coming. Page of Swords. Think about the message that's happening. Something suspect happens. Think about that message. What is the message? What is that? The World. Things are complete. Things are completing, winding up because of this scenario. It isn't just sheer luck, but keep that vibration up there. Seven of Pentacles. The seed is there. The seed's been planted. You're just waiting. And while you're waiting, grow your own tomatoes. While you're waiting, live life normally and maybe give it a little more gusto. Five of Cups. Yeah, don't let it get you down. Don't look at everything as a loss. Don't let your emotions drag you down that rabbit hole. Three of Pentacles. You are not going through this by yourself. You have unseen beings that are with you at all times, that are helping you through this life. Nine of Pentacles. Laughter is contagious. Laughter is the best medicine. Laugh. Life will be beautiful. And I am going to end it on that note because that's beautiful. Okay, so that is the end of this Twilight Zone inspired episode 8. I'm going to give you a teaser, a short teaser for episode 9, which will be next week. So next time we dive into the dark where nightmares don't just haunt us, they speak. But what if fear is the only way we'll listen? Okay, so that is the teaser for episode 9. And on the screen, there is a schedule, a show schedule. I do 3 shows every week. It gives you the show name and also the time. Maybe check out the other 2 that you haven't seen yet. And with that said, I would like to thank you so much for being here, supporting my channel in this way, and making it to the end. And also just to say that I hope you have an absolutely phenomenal week, and I will see you next week. So until then, take care.